Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Real men face the consequences for their actions. Real men face the consequences for their actions. This is I'm gonna tell you what, I ain't gonna point out exactly where I've seen this, but I've noticed this with, I'll say some YouTube beefs. You know, you'll get one party saying this, that, and the third about another content creator, but then get mad when the content creator strikes back. Come on now, come on. And there's so many instances of this on YouTube. Yeah, I could just pick one, because I ain't talking about anybody specific. I'm just talking about something I've seen. And that's just YouTube. I've seen this in the real world. How many of y'all have seen that situation when you get somebody in the real world and they'll constantly bully somebody, pick with them or everything, but as soon as that person starts fighting back and stuff, or hits them or goes in on them, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm a victim, they're attacking me. That's not no manly stuff. If women do that, fine. That's not manly. If you a man out in the world, good or bad, whatever your actions are, you gotta face the consequences. And if you do something bad, you gotta be looking for the payback. You gotta stand up and say, you know what? I did this. Okay, people might not like it. Okay, yeah, there might be some consequences, and there probably will be some. Okay, I can deal with it. I can deal with it. Because too many, it's too often I see people say something, but then get mad if somebody attacks them for what they say. Or if it hurts somebody. It was just like, hey, you know? Like, I know some stuff I might say might offend some people and all of that. Okay. But I stand by what I say, and I expect a consequence. And if it's a situation where I don't want to deal with the consequence of an action, I simply don't take the action. But you got too many out here on that kind of little boy thing. Too many men on that little boy thing. You know, they feel like they can say whatever, do whatever, but no consequence for it. That's unacceptable. See, understand something. A sovereign man gotta be responsible for everything he does. See, sovereignty isn't just freedom. A real man, a sovereign man, he has to say, look, I did this, I take full responsibility. I take full responsibility. I've talked about this before. It's like that football coach, his team loses. He called the plays and stuff. He called the play. Team lost. He takes full responsibility. That was the consequence, they lost. Like a real man takes the loss and he stands up to it. He say, I took this action, I failed, I take full responsibility. And in fact, every single thing, even in relationships, how often have many men, did some foul stuff, and then when the woman didn't want to deal with it anymore, she rolled out, but then the dude tried to blame the woman. I'm like, well, hold up, you did this, this, and this. This is what happens. And really, a man should take that responsibility in these situations anyway. I've talked about this before. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Because see, here's the thing. You have 100% control over what you do. And you can't change the other person. And however they respond, you gotta say, you know what? I did this, this what happened. I spun the wheel. I didn't get the number I wanted. I rolled the dice, it didn't come up the number I wanted. Okay, I can live with it. I can live with it. So I'm gonna tell you what, being responsible in that way is powerful. Accepting the consequences of what you've done. Because I'm gonna tell you what, once a man gets to that point, then he can make better decisions. Then he can look ahead, because he'll say, okay, I'm about to do this. What are the repercussions? And he might say, you know what? Yeah, this might do something, but you know what? This will do something better. I'm gonna have to take it. And real men will do that anyway, and they know, and they're usually doing something good. But see, the problem I have is with the little boys. They want to do something, but then the bullies, then when they'll do something, but then when you strike back, they want to cry about it and stuff. They want to cry about it and stuff. I use an example with myself, like that internet thing. Because you know, I don't have a problem blocking somebody. I saw a comment on someone else's comment section, and they were talking about me. It's like, yeah, Rom blocked me. He didn't agree with what I said. And if I felt like responding to it, I would have said, I'd have told him. I said, no, you were going in on me. I don't have a problem with disagreements, but I say when you make shit personal, I don't have a problem. That was a consequence. And I don't respect that. If I go on anybody's comments and talk some shit and they come back at me, bring it. Because if I ain't want the consequence, I wouldn't have did it. And many men have to see that, but what a problem I have is I'm seeing a lot of little boys. And you know, that whole bully thing, you saw that when he was young. Like I said, just in the real world. Like I said, the example, how many times the bully had picked with somebody, but then when that person they pick up and bust them over the head or something, then they're like, oh, I'm a victim. You kept messing with them, you kept pushing it. And that's the thing. And see, that's just the thing. That's just the thing. You know, as men, we have to always understand that we have power. We have power. Our actions have consequences. We have to be able to stand up and take it, good or bad. We want to take credit when things go well. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, you feel good, you did it, okay. You taking an action, the consequence, the repercussion was a good thing. Hey, it brings you praise. That means you got to take the loss as well. You got to be able to say, you know what, I made a bad call. And see, I'm gonna tell you what, because I always talk about power. You got power because then you can correct whatever you needed to correct. That's the thing. That is the thing. You can correct whatever you needed to correct. And that's very important because I'm gonna tell you what, in the coming times, we need men to stand up. Let me say that again. In the coming times, we need men to stand up. Not blame the world, but take responsibility, take action. Men, the very nature of man is to bring order. The very nature of man. Now, if stuff is out of order, you know, in a man's presence, that's on him. We create the territories, we create the boundaries. One thing in my presence, and I've been like this ever since I was little, I was like, no, this is how you're gonna be in my presence. I don't care what you do in the rest of the world, you're in my presence, this is how you're gonna be. And if I allow you to be otherwise or disrespectful, that's on me. And part of that is taking the good and taking the bad. When I make mistakes, I take full responsibility for it. Every single man needs to be that way. Every single man, there's no excuses. See, I'm gonna tell you what, and this is a big problem out here. It is the overall manhood thing. It ain't about just man gets woman. It's about men standing up. Heck, even on a biological level, there's so many reports of testosterone going down in many men. And I firmly believe that's because the culture right now isn't encouraging men to really stand up and be men. And there's definite attacks against masculinity. Well, no. No, we want to stop that. And we had a responsibility to stop it. And one of those things is taking responsibility for the consequences of your actions. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. And I want y'all to really think about, really meditate on what I was saying, okay? Anyway, get back with everyone. Peace and blessings.